Namaste.
Hello, everyone. This is CRISTIANA ELTRAYAN for the Pranic Consciousness Summit. We are very happy to be here with Victor Truviano, an amazing friend, and we call it breatharian, but I like to call representative of Pranic Consciousness. Victor is a renowned musician in his country, in Argentina, and he has had interesting experiences in his life that has led him to eventually becoming nurtured by prana, and he is now for many years nourished in this way with not need to take food or water. We are happy to be here today, Victor, and to have you share your satsang with us.
Namaste.
Monica, if you wish to translate, this will be translated in Spanish. So for the viewers, please
Yes.
have a little patience because it's going to be translated back and forth, Spanish to English. Thank you, Monica, and thank you, Victor, for being
You're
here.
very welcome.
Namaste, Cristina, Mónica.
So could you translate what I just said?
Tiempo previo a alcanzar cierta maestría,
Before, previous to reach any mastering,
tendrás la facilidad natural de reencarnarte en generaciones.
you will
generaciones.
you will have the natural facility to reincarnate from generations to generations
A través de diferentes cuerpos.
through different bodies.
Y esto sucederá mucho antes de convertirte en ese yogi inmortal que eres.
That will be happen every time when you want to be that yogi that you want to
En ese
be.
yogi, en ese yogi que existe en ti.
That yogi that is already there, that already exists.
No será difícil, pero con su complejidad.
It is not difficult, but it's complex.
Teniendo en cuenta que las circunstancias difíciles se solucionan con la mente.
We have to understand that difficult circumstances is going to be fixed, or the solution will be with the mind.
Y las
Victor,
situaciones.
can you please approach your, because the sound is a little,
Okay.
okay, thank you so much. Perfect. Just to hear you better.
Very well now, better.
Yes, very well.
And las situaciones complejas se solucionan desde tu sabiduría.
The complex situations is going to be fixed by your wisdom.
Entonces, antes de resolver una situación compleja,
So before try to fix a difficult situation or complex situation,
la sabiduría tiene que estar viva en esta conciencia corporal.
the awareness had to be alive in this body
Consciousness.
En este lugar donde te encuentras, ¿no? Y nunca olvidando
in this place that where we are, and we never forget
que más allá del accionar que tú crees aquí,
beyond the what we take action, the what we believe here.
el silencio desde la distancia siempre está contigo, apoyándote.
The silence in distance is always support you.
El cosmos desde el vacío siempre está creando a través de ti.
The cosmos is always creating through you.
Entonces, siempre llega el momento donde realmente tenemos que poner atención en la importancia en este momento en nuestra vida.
So it's always the time where we have to put attention in this moment of our lives.
Porque como bien decía, si el cosmos está todo el tiempo operando a través de nosotros y nosotros no escuchamos eso,
Like always, if we see the cosmos is always working through us and we don't listen that,
no tiene caso si somos carnívoros, vegetarianos o licuarianos.
it doesn't matter if we are meat eaters, vegetarians, liquidarians.
Y el cosmos es la guía que debes escuchar en verdad.
The cosmos is the guidance that we have to listen
Desde tu existencia,
from your existence,
conocimiento y comprensión.
knowledge, understanding,
Desde tu experiencia para resolver las cosas complejas y difíciles.
from your experience to fix, to resolve the complex situations or the simple situations,
Transformándote de esta manera en ese maestro espiritual que eres.
in this way you will transform yourself in that master that you already are,
Integrando poco a poco limitaciones ordinarias en la vida.
integrating slowly by slowly limitations, ordinary limitations in our lives,
Para luego resolverlas.
and later we can resolve that,
Para luego superarlas.
and later transcend them
Y también transformarlas.
and transform them.
Porque tú en verdad no puedes cambiar absolutamente nada.
Because you, in reality, you cannot change absolutely anything,
Pero sí puedes transformar absolutamente todo.
but you could transform absolutely everything,
Ocupándote de ti silenciosamente y de otros desde el silencio y oculto, como lo hace Babaji.
take care yourself in silence and take care others in silence like Babaji does.
Oculto al público para la evolución espiritual humana. Esto es algo importante y real.
How you say
Take care of
oculto?
yourself, to take care of yourself, this is important and real.
Exacto.
Yes, but oculto, yes.
Paranormal, let's say.
Mhm.
Yes, I translated. It's okay.
Babaji
Yes.
Es aquel que llega a esta tierra
Babaji is the who come to this earth
llega voluntariamente siglo tras siglo
He comes voluntarily century to century
para la ayuda necesaria del aprendizaje,
to help the what is need for learn,
del entendimiento,
to understand
del conocimiento
the knowledge
y de la comprensión.
and the understanding, comprehension,
Desmaterializando y desmaterializando fácilmente su cuerpo
this dematerialize and materialize easy his body
a su antojo, a su voluntad,
in his wish and his will,
y de la forma que desea, ¿no? Para trasladarse de un lugar a otro,
in any way he wants to translate himself in one place to another,
de una dimensión a otra.
the one dimension to another.
Babaji viaja a través de muchos cuerpos
Babaji travel through different bodies
que lo admiten como anfitrión.
the what they admit him as amphitryon.
Entonces yo creo que es un buen momento para poder escuchar y percibir el Babaji que existe en ti.
So that is the perfect moment to listen the Babaji that is already within you.
Pero de
But before,
antes de descubrir a ese Babaji, tienes que descubrirte a ti.
to discover that Babaji that is already in you, you have to find yourself.
Cuando tú puedas encontrarte a ti mismo, inmediatamente sabrás quién es Babaji
When you can find yourself, immediately you will know who is Babaji
o qué es Babaji.
or what is Babaji.
Todo esto se encuentra asimilado
All of this you can assimilate
conscientemente
consciously
en todos tus actos, en todos tus movimientos.
in all your actions, in all your movements.
Pero tú tienes que percibir y discernir en todas estas diferentes situaciones
But you have to discern, you perceive in all these situations.
diferenciarlas
Know the difference
para encontrar más que lo importante, porque lo importante existe solo en nuestra mente.
to find more than what is important, because the important only exists in our mind.
Entonces, cuando nosotros podemos diferenciar estas situaciones, es el momento donde realmente comienzas a vivir una realidad como realidad.
So when we can distinguish that difference is when we start living the reality as reality.
¿Por qué? Porque cuando diferencias esta realidad de las otras posibles, es cuando comienzas a escuchar al cosmos.
Why? Because when you find out the difference to the other ones is when you start listening the cosmos.
Y lo que sucede es que el cosmos nunca se equivoca contigo.
And then what happened is the cosmos never make a mistake with you.
Cuando escuchas al cosmos, nunca estás creando desde la pobreza.
When you listen the cosmos, you never create in poverty.
siempre creas desde la abundancia y desde la riqueza.
You always create from abundance and richness.
Pero tú tienes que saber que esa es una opción más que existe.
But you have to know that that is only one option more that exists.
Cuando la descubres, cuando la eliges y cuando optas por esto, ya tienes otro paso para alcanzar.
When you choose, when you choose, when you make the election, you already have one step more to reach.
Porque muchas veces, en general, las personas no pueden darle importancia a su ser simple y únicamente porque están pensando en cómo ganarse el pan de cada día.
Because many times we cannot give importance to our own being because we focus more in how to make money for every day.
Entonces, muy bien, soluciona ese problema y luego encárgate de la otra parte.
So first you fix that problem and later take care the other.
Fíjate en dónde estás parado, en dónde estás situado ahora.
Put attention where you are standing now
Para saber hacia dónde te tienes que dirigir.
for you know where to go.
Entonces, esto es un poco sobre lo que yo hoy estoy pensando aquí contigo y abierto para comenzar a escuchar tus preguntas y crear las respuestas entre todos también.
So this is exactly where I am right now with you. I'm ready to listen any questions that you have.
Thank you so much, Victor, for this wonderful sharing. It was very much in alignment with what people actually want to know or find out, and you're very well guided. I'll do one or two questions before people start writing in the chat box. And I'll also say for those of you who are watching live, you can now use the chat box that is to the right of your screen to ask questions to Victor. I will read the questions and ask to him, and they will be translated in Spanish and answered back to you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
So, my first question before other people start writing would be, how did your connection with Babaji started? Because Babaji is one dear friend, master of mine, and I'm happy to meet those of us who collaborate in this way. If Monica, you would like to translate, thank you so much.
Sí, cuál es tu conexión con Babaji?
En verdad, no tengo una conexión con Babaji.
In reality, I don't have connection with Babaji.
Porque conexión es separación.
Oh, because connection is separation.
I asked, how did it
Entonces,
start? How did it start? ¿Cómo conexión?
¿Cómo comenzaste tu conexión con Babaji?
entonces no estoy separado de Babaji. So I am not separate of Babaji. That is what I wanted.
Sí, no estoy, I'm not separate from Babaji.
Yo cuando tenía entre los 4 y 5 años,
When I was between 4 to 5 years,
cada vez que iba a mi habitación,
every time I go to my room,
Sentía y percibía que había alguien o algo que me observaba.
I always feel that it was something or someone it was observing me,
Y me daba mucho miedo.
and I was very afraid.
Y yo no quería ir a dormir.
And I don't want to go to sleep.
Pero bien, siempre terminaba en la cama igualmente, cada noche, ¿verdad?
But I always end up in my bed every night.
Entonces, cada vez que me quedaba boca arriba mirando el techo,
So every time I face up in my bed, looking the roof,
comenzaba a aparecer como medio esfumada una imagen de un hombre indio con el pelo muy largo y negro.
I always see like the vision of the man with the long hair.
Así es como comenzó mi no separación con Babaji a muy temprana edad.
That's how I start my no separation with Babaji in very early age.
Como sabrás, esto se ha ido desarrollando y avanzando
This has been evolved in advance
hasta estos días.
into these days.
Thank you. When was the first time, or how did you first feel? Because first it was an image in your room and an image on your ceiling. And when did it start feeling like it is you, a part of you?
¿Cuándo empezaste a sentirlo que es parte de ti?
Lo que sucede es que mis tristezas y mis alegrías
Then what happened is my sadness in my happy times,
y mis miedos
in my fears,
son míos.
they are mine.
Y cuando yo sentía miedo antes de ir a la habitación,
And when I was afraid to go to the room,
sentía a Babaji.
I feel Babaji.
Ese sentimiento es propio.
That feeling is just mine.
Yo siento pertenencia en Babaji y Babaji siente pertenencia en mí.
I belong to Babaji and Babaji belongs to me.
A través de cualquier sensación humana.
Through any human sensation.
Entonces, ese primer momento de miedo fue mi primer contacto con él.
So that means that feeling of fear, that was my first contact with him.
Y quizás esa haya sido mi primer momento de sentir miedo.
And perhaps that was my first time when I feel fear.
Y por eso fue muy, pero muy especial.
And because that, it was very, very special.
Ya que los momentos de soledad, los momentos de miedo o de tristezas no son algo negativo.
If we think about it, the moments of feeling lonely or sad is not something negative.
Yo puedo estar con mucho miedo y con mucha tristeza y estar sonriendo.
I can be with a lot of loneliness or sadness. And can you repeat the last? ¿Puedes repetir lo último, por favor?
Yo puedo estar con mis tristezas y mis miedos, pero también puedo estar sonriendo a la vez.
Okay. I can be with my sadness, with my fears, but I can be smiling.
pero estos sentimientos me hacen estar vivos.
But these feelings makes me feel alive,
Y son muy positivos también.
and they are very positive too.
So at this moment, at this state of consciousness, are you still
I cannot hear you, Christiana. Can they freeze the? I
beyond?
cannot hear
And
you.
and if you still experiencing them, do you believe they're yours or they're like a general human experience that is happening through your body?
Hey, Christiana, it was the connection was breaking up, so I did not hear.
Okay, so I will ask again. If he's still experiencing emotions like fear or sadness or the ones he mentioned before, and if these emotions are perceived as his own emotions or are like general energy imprint from the human consciousness.
Ok. Cristiana pregunta si las emociones que estás percibiendo, o que estás sintiendo, son tuyas o son emociones colectivas.
And
Son
if
emociones de otras
he
personas.
is still feeling these emotions, that
Y
the
si
main
todavía estás, sintiendo esas emociones que mencionaste.
Quizás antes las podría percibir de otra manera las emociones.
Perhaps before I can perceive the emotions a different way.
Y quizás también hasta responsabilizaba a otras personas de mis emociones.
And perhaps even blame to somebody else and other people for my emotions.
O de lo que no podía resolver.
Or perhaps I was not able to resolve.
Y la gran diferencia en este momento es que la emocionalidad, yo sé positivamente y concretamente que tiene sola y únicamente que ver con el momento en donde estoy.
Right now, I only know all the emotions. It has to do with the moment that I'm right now.
Quiere decir, en el momento donde la mente se adapta para tangibilizar una situación.
With that, I means in the moment that the mind is adapting for feeling that emotion.
En alguna específica situación.
In very specific situation.
Entonces, las sensaciones son físicas y son creadas y vienen por consecuencias de una situación ajena y externa muchas veces.
So that means all the sensations, they are coming for external circumstances many times.
Pero me pertenecen.
But they belong to me.
So, in other words, you are experiencing situations in order to relate, or you are experiencing emotions sometimes in order to relate to a certain external situation that need you as that representation, need you to act in that way, or it's like a role in some way, the way I feel it. Yes?
Entonces todas las emociones que estás sintiendo principalmente es para tú tener ese rol.
No sé si es para tener un rol instantáneo y momentáneo.
I don't know if that's exactly for me to have that role in that moment.
Yo muchas veces soy como un niño que puede estar llorando y a los 2 segundos está sonriendo y saltando de alegría.
Many times like a child, I can be crying, and in next instant I can be very happy and jumping.
No me identifico y no perdura una sensación en mí.
I don't identify with sensations, and it doesn't last too long.
Yo puedo tener muchas diferencias, obviamente, con todas las personas.
I can have many differences with people,
Pero por eso no quiere decir que no tengamos que ser amigos.
but that it doesn't mean we cannot be friends.
Thank you. We will now take some questions from the people in the audience. Thank you everyone for having written to ask your questions. So one first question is from somebody who says, when I meditate, I experience white light and it's so near to me. I feel warmth in my heart and it's like it looks very beautiful. I enjoy it. Why? What is that experience, or is it a product of your mind, of my mind?
Okay. La pregunta es, cuando estoy meditando, veo una luz cerca de mí, muy enfrente de mi corazón. ¿Esa luz es parte de mi mente?
And what is the sensation? Somebody in the audience is asking, why is it this light? What does it represent? And or is there a part of my mind?
¿Qué es lo que representa esa luz o es parte de mi mente?
Lo que representa, todo lo que representa es y viene de tu mente, sobre todo porque el hombre siempre va catalogando todas las cosas, poniendo símbolos y las va guardando de esa manera.
Okay, it's always coming from the mind because we as the human beings, we always thinking in put categories, put symbols.
Lo que sucede es que es complejo responder esta pregunta.
It's very complex to respond this question.
Porque esa es una experiencia que tú estás teniendo. Yo no puedo hablar sobre tu experiencia.
Because that's an experience that you have it, so I can speak about your experience.
No hay un libro técnico que diga lo que significa cada sensación.
There is no any book that explains what is the meaning of each sensation.
Y si existe ese libro,
If that book exists,
o si alguien tiene respuesta a todas tus preguntas técnicas,
of if anybody has answer to techniques questions,
son todas mentiras.
they all lie. Yeah. Yeah.
Pero de veras, lo que sucede aquí es que tenemos que saber si tú estás meditando o si tú estás haciendo silencio.
What is important to know is if you are meditate or you're in silence.
Si alguien está guiando tu meditación o simplemente tú estás sola o solo.
If someone is guiding your meditation or you're just by yourself.
Entonces, si yo sé esas cosas, puedo ser más concreto.
So if I know that things, I could be more concrete in your answer.
The person says he is by himself and in silence.
Él dice que es en silencio y él mismo.
Maravilloso, entonces que continúe creando ese silencio.
So that's wonderful. Keep going, keep continuing that silence.
Y también cuando tú estás en ese silencio y también puedes percibir la obscuridad, quédate ahí, no te vayas de ese lugar, que también es maravilloso.
Okay. Also, if you are in silence, if you perceive darkness, stay there because that is also wonderful.
Yes. Thank you so much. We take another question now from another person. Somebody is asking, in your opinion, is there any relation between eating food and separation consciousness? Do you find any difference at mental and physical levels if you eat? What is the main reason for you not eating?
Okay, Christiana, can you separate that? Can you
Yes,
separate the word because it's quite a few questions in the same
yes,
one?
yes. Okay.
Okay.
So, is there any relation between eating food and the consciousness of separation or the
Okay.
sensation of separation?
Okay, Víctor, un- esta pregunta tiene varias, entonces vamos a empezar con esta. Alguien está preguntando si hay diferencia entre comer comida, alimentarse y lo que es la conciencia.
Como tú sabrás, yo nací en Argentina.
As you know, I'm born in Argentina.
Y en Argentina es muy normal que cada día las personas coman carne.
In Argentina, it's very normal that every day people eat meat.
Entonces también sabrás que yo conozco muchas personas carnívoras.
As you know, I know a lot of people that eat meat.
También conozco otras personas que solamente toman líquidos o que solamente comen frutas.
And also, I know other people that only drink liquids or only eat fruits.
También conozco vegetarianos y veganos y todo eso.
And also, I know vegetarian, vegans, and all that.
Pero desde mi experiencia, las más personas o las personas más bondadosas y amorosas que conozco
But from my experience, the more kind people that I know,
comen carne.
they eat meat.
Entonces, yo no estoy diciendo que comer carne sea bueno o malo.
So I'm not saying that eating meat is good or bad,
O sea, mejor ser licuariano que vegetariano para la conciencia.
or neither as saying that being liquidarian or watarian would be better for the consciousness.
Pero lo que creo es que la conciencia está más allá del plato que te vayas a comer hoy día.
But I believe the consciousness is beyond whatever you choose to eat.
I will interrupt a little, please. Victor, you have your other part of hands-free with your mic next to your waist. Could you bring it closer to your mouth, please?
Yes. Can you
Yes.
hear me better now?
Yes, yes.
Bueno.
A little bit better, yes. Thank you. Yes.
Entonces, bueno, sí. Yo no creo que en verdad la conciencia o una comida pueda cambiar tu conciencia. ¿Y por qué digo esto?
In reality, I don't believe that consciousness can be changed with your community.
Porque la comida es algo muy frágil.
Because food is something very fragile.
Muy pobre, ¿no?
Something very poor.
Algo que se deshace.
something that melts,
que desaparece.
something that disappears.
Pero la conciencia es algo muy rico,
But consciousness is something very rich,
que perdura,
the last,
que no se desmorona, que no desaparece.
that doesn't disappear.
Entonces la conciencia puede ser mucho más que la misma comida.
So that means the consciousness is much more than food.
Y la comida no puede hacer tanto sobre la conciencia.
And food cannot do anything with the consciousness.
Tenemos que también pensar que esta comida existe en este planeta para nosotros.
We also have to understand that that food exists in this planet for us.
Y la conciencia existe en todo el universo.
And consciousness exists in all universe.
Entonces, yo creo que la prioridad,
So I think the priority,
como decía en un principio, es realmente comenzar a percibir cómo se manifiesta el cosmos a través de nosotros.
like I say in the beginning, we have to know how the cosmos manifests through us.
Por supuesto,
Of course,
que acorde a determinadas comidas, acorde a lo que tú consumas,
of course, it depends what you eat.
es también cómo estará tu salud.
It's also how your health will be.
Y por supuesto es muy importante tener en cuenta eso.
And of course, it's very important to know that.
Yo cada vez que puedo decirle a alguien, no comas eso por esto y por tal motivo, lo hago.
Every time I have the opportunity to tell someone, don't eat this, don't eat that, for one reason or the other, I always do that.
Por supuesto, nunca le diré a alguien que deje de comer,
And of course, I would never tell someone not to eat,
pero sí recomendar algo que pueda ser apropiado para esa persona.
but yes, I would recommend something that will be very appropriate for that person.
Porque tener este cuerpo vivo es una gran responsabilidad.
Because having this body alive is a lot of responsibility.
Y más allá de la conciencia que tienes, aunque comas carne,
Beyond of the consciousness, even if you eat meat,
por consecuencia de eso, tu salud obviamente será muy pobre también.
of consequence of that, your health will be very poor.
Thank you. Somebody is asking, what can you share about forgiveness? Forgiveness of others and forgiveness of ourselves.
What you can share for what?
Forgiveness.
Oh, están preguntando si puedes compartir algo con respecto al perdón.
Forgiveness for others and forgiveness for ourselves.
Okay. El perdón hacia nosotros y el perdón hacia los demás.
Bueno, yo creo que el perdón está también muy relacionado con lo que pueda llegar a ser la culpa.
I think the forgiveness, it has a lot of relation with what would be feeling guilty.
También con crear la culpabilidad en alguien.
También con crear la culpabilidad, ¿qué?
También con crear la culpabilidad en alguien.
And also to create someone else feel guilty.
El perdón es algo que tiene que ser instantáneo y momentáneo.
Forgiveness is something that has to be instantaneously and momentarily.
No tiene que ser algo que se pueda pensar.
It has to be, it cannot be something that you have to think about it.
Porque si se piensa no es tan verdadero.
Because if you think about it, it's not real. Wow.
Y si sientes no perdonar,
If you feel not to forgive,
no tienes que pensar que sí tienes que perdonar.
You cannot think that you have to forgive.
Yo creo que es muy importante ser auténtico y verdadero contigo.
It is very important to be authentic with yourself.
Porque cuando tú estás perdonando,
Because
no,
when you forgive,
no es algo que lo haces en favor a la otra persona.
it is not something that you do through the other.
Cuando tú estás perdonando, estás reencontrándote también contigo.
When you forgive, you are finding yourself.
Por eso es muy especial también no perdonar,
That's why it's very important also not forgive.
porque también es un momento donde tú no te puedes encontrar.
Because it's also in the moment that you cannot find yourself.
Entonces, respetar ese momento de desencuentros contigo es importante.
So respect the moments that you cannot forgive. It is also important.
Thank you. A next question from the person who asked you about food and consciousness would be, what is the main reason why you do not eat?
¿Cuál es la razón principal por la que tú no estás comiendo?
Una razón es un alto nivel de pensamiento.
One reason would be a highest level of thought.
Y yo no pienso que no tengo que comer.
And I don't think that I don't have to eat.
Entonces no hay una razón por la cual yo no esté comiendo.
So it's not any reason why I'm not eating.
No es algo que yo quiera o que yo elija.
There is no something that I want or I choose.
Y no tiene que ver con algún tipo de técnica o práctica.
It don't have nothing to do with any technique or practice.
Porque justamente lo que el cosmos quiere para nosotros son menos técnicas y menos prácticas.
Because exactly what the cosmos want is less techniques, less practice.
Cuando hay menos técnicas y menos prácticas, hay más naturalidad en nuestros movimientos.
When it's less techniques, less practice, it's more natural or movements.
En nuestro movimiento en la vida.
Or movements in our lives.
Y todo lo que va generando eso en las situaciones.
And everything what is generated in any situation.
Entonces, yo no podría llevarme nada a la boca ahora.
So I cannot put anything in my mouth now.
Simplemente porque me estoy escuchando.
It's very simple because I listen myself.
Y porque esto en este momento me hace bien.
And because this at this moment is good for me.
No estoy diciendo que es bien para todos.
I do not say that it's good for everybody.
Thank you. So that answered the other question of the same person who was asking if you felt any difference at the physical or mental level when you eat, but obviously you answered already that you don't eat and there's no difference there.
Yes.
Okay. Do you still have time for questions? Do you want to do more?
Yes, it's okay. I'm okay.
Okay. We have one or two more. Okay. Let's see. I'll just scroll a little bit. One second. So it's the same question asked 3 times. Okay. Do you feel, what can you share about the physical body and the transformations that we're going through now? Because many of us are feeling our bodies shifting a lot. I myself have been on this Pranic journey for 9 years now, and there's been many shifts and changes, but also now is starting to become very, very different in terms of how body reacts. Now it feels that the body is becoming less and less material compared to the way it used to be. What would be your take now on body changes? Monica,
¿Cuál?
do you need me to break it down in smaller phrases?
Yes, let me ask him. ¿Sí? Está preguntando que cuáles son tus condiciones físicas que estás sintiendo en este momento, esos cambios, porque ella está, cristiana, está teniendo cambios físicos en esa actualidad y le interesa saber si tú estás teniendo algunos en estos momentos.
The question was that many of us are experiencing powerful changes, and that the body, especially for those of us in Pranic journey, seems to be less and less material. So it has the possibility to dematerialize, rematerialize, change density, and so on. What is his opinion on that?
Ok. Algunos de ellos están sintiendo cambios en su cuerpo como desmaterialización o materialización del cuerpo y quieren saber cuál es tu opinión al respecto.
And that the body is becoming less and less physical. I'm going to repeat that.
Sí, desmaterializar, o sea, el cuerpo viene siendo menos y menos físico.
Menos sólido. Bien, sí. Bueno, había varias preguntas. Una de ellas es cómo me percibo con mi cuerpo, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Los grandes cambios físicos los tuve hace unos 10 años, en verdad.
He's going to answer the first one of the questions is how he perceived his body change, and he's saying that the big changes that he has, it was 10 years ago.
Que fue cuando tuve la tercera bendición o cuando mi vista se recuperó por completo.
It was when he changed his teeth 3 times and his vision, it was complete repair.
Cuando tú sientes o percibes que te estás desmaterializando.
When you feel or you know that you dematerialize,
es que también te puedes estar regenerando.
it's because it's also you can be regenerate.
Para materializarte de nuevo.
To be materialized again.
Pero después de un proceso que es muchas veces de un tiempo considerado.
But after a time that is many times is considered.
You can, tú puedes percibir, tú puedes percibir de nuevo que te sientes mucho más completo o mucho más completa que antes.
You can perceive that you're more complete, much more than before.
Yes.
Es que nosotros no sabemos de dónde viene la energía.
Because we don't know where the energy comes from.
Y la energía nunca se termina de usar, nunca se gasta la energía.
And the energy is endless. It's never get lost.
siempre es nueva y siempre estás lleno de esta.
It's always new and you're always full of it.
Pero depende también cómo puedas equilibrar la mente
But
con este cuerpo.
it also depends how you can equilibrate the mind with your body.
Porque si tú estás usando la misma mente con un cuerpo que se está adaptando a otras condiciones,
Because if you're using the mind with a body that is adapting with other conditions,
entonces te puedes dar la cabeza contra la pared.
so you can hit yourself to the with the wall.
La mejor manera, creo yo, es que simplemente puedas escuchar de otra forma tu cuerpo.
The best way that I believe is that you listen your body,
Porque tu cuerpo está hablando todo el tiempo.
because your body is talking to you all the time.
Si tú comes una comida que te cae pesada,
If you eat something that it doesn't make you feel good, that it's too
y
heavy,
a la semana que viene vuelves a comer la misma comida que te cayó pesada,
and the next week you still eating the same food that doesn't make you feel good,
es porque te gusta dar la cabeza contra la pared.
it's because you like to hit your head in the wall.
Yeah, no, that is not the case in my experience.
Exacto.
Maybe others.
Entonces, volviendo al tema de la energía que existe en abundancia,
So coming back to the subject or energy that exists in abundance,
yo siento que cada día tengo que salir a correr.
I feel like every day I have to go for a run.
Entonces, en términos físicos, me siento en equilibrio con la mente.
So that means my physical body is in balance with my mind.
Están acorde.
Yeah, they equilibrate.
Y creo que eso es más que elocuente, tenerlo presente siempre.
And that's the more eloquent. They always have that present.
Porque de esta manera también puedes evolucionar.
Because in this way you also can evolve.
El cuerpo puede aprender de la mente y la mente puede aprender del cuerpo.
The body can learn from the mind and the mind can learn from the body.
Y cuando sucede esto se crea la comprensión.
And when that happens, the comprehension, the understanding is created.
Y la comprensión es la alquimia con el cosmos.
And the comprehension is the alchemist with the cosmos.
Y para que la alquimia en el cosmos funcione,
And for the alchemy with the cosmos work,
los elementos tienen que estar dispuestos para ser mezclados.
the elements have to be in harmony to be mixed.
Entonces, nosotros también somos un elemento más para que el cosmos pueda hacer su alquimia, ¿verdad?
So that means we also are elements for the cosmos can do the alchemist.
Thank you very much for your answer. Oh, it was very complex and interesting. What was the biggest gift that
What is the biggest what?
gift?
Oh, ¿cuál es el regalo?
One moment. That you feel you received from becoming one with pranic consciousness.
¿Cuál es el regalo más grande que has tenido al ser
Al uno, unido,
al ser uno con la conciencia pránica?
¿Cuál es el presente? El regalo.
El regalo. Yeah, it's a gift. ¿Cuál es el gift?
Ah, ok.
El
Sí,
regalo.
sí. Lo que sucede es que, por decirlo de esta forma, repitiendo la misma palabra, el estado pránico no es algo que se desarrolla en un cuerpo físico.
To say the same word, the pranic state is not something that is developed in the body.
Se desarrolla en varios cuerpos físicos, en varias vidas.
It's developed in different physical bodies and in different lives.
Por eso esto para mí no es algo nuevo,
That's why this for me is not something new.
porque no sea nuevo no quiere decir que no tenga sorpresas con este estado.
It is new, but that doesn't mean that if I don't have some surprises.
Pero del recuerdo que tengo de mis vidas y con lo que me está sucediendo ahora,
But the memories that I have with my past lives and the what is happening right now,
creo que parte del mayor regalo que se me está presentando
I think the big part of this gift that is manifesting
es la de que en mi próxima vida ya no será en un cuerpo físico.
is that in my next life it won't be anymore in the physical in the body,
Y eso es un gran regalo.
and that for me is a big gift.
Y no estoy hablando de algo que no existe todavía.
And I'm not talking about something that it doesn't exist.
Estoy hablando de algo que existe.
I'm talking about something that already exists.
Porque cuando el cuerpo se regenera de esta manera,
Because when the body is regenerated in this way,
es porque la conciencia se crea en carne.
it's because the consciousness is creating in meat.
Y cuando la conciencia se hace carne, es muy difícil soportarla en un cuerpo.
And when consciousness is become meat, it's very difficult to sustain in the body.
El cuerpo no puede sostener tanta energía y tanto pensamiento a la vez que
The
sucede
body,
al mismo tiempo.
the body cannot sustain so much energy and a lot of thoughts that happens in the same moment.
Por eso sé cuál es el regalo que viene y sé que es el más preciado por mí en este momento.
That's why I know what is the big gift that is coming. It is a more precious gift
Porque viene algo nuevo y me gustan las diferencias.
because it's coming something new, and I love the difference.
Y me gusta cuando tengo la posibilidad de que mi vida también sea nueva y se cree de otra manera.
And I like and I love the possibility that my life will be created in different way.
Que no sea siempre la misma cosa
Then it's not always the same thing.
y que no esté limitada siempre a las mismas personas.
And there is no limited always to the same people.
Porque es un momento para constantemente poder cambiar el entorno.
Because it's the moment that we can change constantly our environment
Para transformar la mente.
for be able to transform the mind.
Es un momento para cambiar mi sistema.
Is the moment to change my systems,
Para transformar mi vida.
for transform my life.
Y esto sucede cada día. Y me
And
gusta.
that happens every day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I remember, I cannot help but remember a fragment from the autobiography of a yogi where there was described this conversation between Babaji and his sister, and he was saying something like, "For me, it is the same whether I do have or do not have a physical body. So I guess it is now time for me to leave my body because it is of no importance for me to keep it." And then his sister said, "Well, if it's the same for you having the physical body or not having it, then why live it? Leave it."
Mhm.
I loved that fragment. What is your take on that?
Do you understand, Victor? All the
In
story
part,
that she was saying?
in part, yes, but if you can translate
Okay,
also
she was
the
talking
text.
about, yeah, she was talking about one book that she read. That it
Okay,
was
yes.
it was between Babaji and his sister, and Babaji was saying that for him it's not important. Oh, I'm speaking English. Sorry.
Yes, yes.
Oh my God.
So,
Okay. Perdón, Víctor, estaba hablando inglés.
it's okay.
Okay. Eh, estaba Cristiana estaba diciendo de una historia con respecto a un libro que leyó, de un fragmento de Babaji y su hermana, y su hermana le preguntó a Babaji que por qué, si no es importante para él el cuerpo, por qué se quiere ir. Entonces Cristiana preguntaba cuál es tu reflexión al respecto.
I will say it again because it's different. So Babaji was saying that for him it is the same
Ah,
to
para
have
él,
a body or not to have a body.
ok, Babaji dijo, su respuesta era que para él era lo mismo, tener el cuerpo o no tenerlo.
And his sister, and therefore he should leave his body because for him it is the same not having. And his sister said, "Well, if it is the same, then why leave it?"
Ya, para él dijo que para él era lo mismo tener cuerpo o no tenerlo, y su hermana le dijo, bueno, si es lo mismo, entonces ¿para qué lo quieres dejar?
Entonces, sí,
Sí, entonces Cristiana preguntaba que cuál era tu reflexión al respecto con esta historia.
sí, bueno, tiene que ver sobre todo eh, en qué situación te posan en la vida,
¿En qué situación qué, perdón?
en qué situación te posan en la vida,
Oh,
en dónde te están poniendo en este momento.
sí. He said it has to do a lot in the way that they put you in that moment.
Ah, para mí en este momento es bellísimo tener este cuerpo
For me, at this moment, it's beautiful to have this body,
y este cuerpo es vida para mí ahora también.
and this body for me is life.
Sé que es por un rato,
I know this is for a time,
por un rato más, pero cada cuerpo que tenemos es por un ratito también.
yeah, but also every body that we have is also for one period of time.
Y sé que parte de este momento ayuda a que el cosmos también pueda dirigir todo lo que sucede
Mhm.
en esta humanidad a través de cada uno.
Yeah, and also having the body helps to the cosmos can direct everybody,
Dirigen la paz, las guerras, absolutamente todo.
make the direction to the peace, to the world, and everything.
Hay cosas que la pequeña y limitada mente no puede decidir.
It's some things that the a very small mind cannot take a decision.
Muchas veces se hace de forma colectiva.
And many times that decisions has to be taken in collective way.
Cuando se hace de forma colectiva es muchas veces cuando nos lastimamos entre todos.
And when we take a collective decision is when we hurt each other.
Entonces, todos tenemos muy cercano lo que fue la guerra.
So that's why everybody, we have very close what is war.
No es que yo esté hablando porque siempre estuvo lejos de mi familia.
It's not because I'm talking about that because it has been always far away of my family.
No es así. Todos sufrimos alguna guerra en algún momento.
It's not like that. Everybody suffered a war in one moment of a time.
Pero también la guerra quiere decir muchas cosas.
But also war means a lot of things.
Y la fantasía de la paz también.
And the fantasy of peace also.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
It was so wonderful to
Thank
be
you.
with you today.
Thank you for everything that you shared with us and your beautiful way of sharing it as well. You send so much peace, and we thank you for that as well. Sometimes it's very good just to be in silence with you. And we are very grateful that today you also offered to speak, because Victor is very often doing silent retreats that are very powerful. So,
Thank you.
everyone. And thank you, Monica, for translating this. We
Thank
hope
you.
to meet you all at the Pranic Festival in Romania. And maybe Victor will be also there, live or online. We're still looking forward for the answer for this. But today we are very grateful for your presence. And
Okay.
Thank you, Mónica.
Gracias, Víctor.
Gracias, Beria. Hasta luego.
Que hasta luego. Te amo.
Yeah, you too.
Bye. Okay. Okay,
So,
Cristiana.
yes, we haven't finished yet.
Oh,
Thank you, and yes, we'll talk soon. I wanted to add that the Pranic Festival in Romania is this year in August 15 to 19. Victor has been one of the speakers last year, or the participants. This year we're also expecting him to come or do online. And we're inviting you to check on the website, the Pranic Festival in Romania, or the Facebook page for you to be able to join us. And after that, we have the Trip of the Sun journey, a retreat journey to the most important sun worshipping energy vortexes in this country, very powerful places, very ancient traditions of pranic beings that have lived here. And we can visit them together. So you can also find that on our website, soulhealingacademy.com, at the events section. So soulhealingacademy.com/events. And we also have in August a retreat of detox and prana from August 23rd to 25, where you can actually experience this state with us or detox your body if you still want to continue eating and have a lighter state altogether. We'll be having meditations, we'll be having a lot of activity in fresh air and visiting wonderful places. So check our website, soulhealingacademy.com, to be able to join us in all these gatherings. And we're very grateful for your presence today. And for those of you who did not get their question answered yet, that's all we can do for 1 hour. So please understand. And we're hopefully have you at the festival, live or online, where you can ask more questions and get more answers. And there's also the possibility for you to have more than 30 such conversations by accessing the lifetime package of the Pranic Consciousness Summit. So we have had so far about 31, 32 interviews or live satsangs with amazing people like Jasmuhim, Nassim Haramein, Erica with Dr. Sudhir Shah, who has monitored Prahlad Jani, and so on and so forth. Many, many amazing paradigm shifters on this planet. They are all recorded. You can watch online in the comfort of your home, and you have the access to this package on the page that you have joined. So click on that and see how you resonate. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
thank
Have a
you
good day.
for being here with us, and Victor and everyone. And see you next time.
See you. Have a good day. Bye bye.